I had to look up if the word strewn is an existing word. Apparently it is. It is possible that in the many little videos I have made, there exists a theological error, perhaps an understanding of mystical things that are halfway correct. I will leave them in my path. I do this because I don't want to be a wounded judge that seeks out theological errors in others with some narcissistic pleasure, because such seeking and such pleasure betray, not our height, but our woundedness and need, and stomping about, as a hungry judge, forms an actual shape in our inner being. A creature with spikes and thorns, and the great beings out there in the dimensions may see us so. Notwithstanding this, it is wise and good to be right in things. We can't prefer to be wrong. I saw an image of Jesus this morning. He was riding a motorcycle, he was muscular, and daring, and going fast, and I was sitting at his back, and he bumped things out of our way, and he said, "You must let me lead." I suppose guiding my path is different than leading me, or leading my path. For him to lead implies I must give intentional permission, a deliberate and conscious feeling of the feeling of relinquishing leading my own path. He won't do it otherwise. On a distant topic I think of the early, or first words Yahweh had said to humanity, which is, "Who told you, you were naked?" It is the words, "Who told you," that makes me ruminate. Because, I think, at first glance, does it matter who had told the telling? And why is telling a thing? And what is this mystical process, to which humanity, and our psychology are subject to? God was less interested in the serpent, he was interested in our vulnerability to telling, and we can conceive this telling as an external mirror to the minds of our brain, which can believe notions about ourselves, and then, once believed, something extraordinary happens, we transform into another shape. And in the case of Adam and Eve, the shapes of their divine structure were being inverted, and then they came to live in nakedness, which speaks of the new machinery of the way of being, which is of continual defense, continual breakability, which is fear. 4,000 years later, perhaps, the contracted and controlling world system, by way of the religious leaders, asked the same question to a man who transformed from his paralyzed state to a new form. And they asked, "Who told you to pick up your bed and walk? Who told you to walk?" Now the man probably should have answered by saying, "Someone told me something new, a new paradigm, possibility, which I believed and I transformed." Now from Greek mythology we know that the three daughters of Minyas were famously transformed into bats, flying about the mountains of the world, becoming devourers and mourners, mourning their paths, and devouring others' paths. Yesterday morning I saw, in my mind, a picture of the head of a serpent popping through some dimensional sheath, looking at me, and a drop of poison dropped from its mouth. And again this morning, the same serpent, dropping the drop of poison. I suppose the poison is a telling of sorts, telling me to pick up sorrow and stop. No, I will listen to the telling of the divine man, who tells me, "Pick up your life, and walk."